Yes, it's transfer season, and you know what that means. Broken promises, mystery bids, and our hopes slowly dying. Welcome to Lads Down the Lane. Let's get into the deals, the duds, and the ones that got away. Big up, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Big up, Nige. Yeah. So thanks for having me on, mate. Yes. I don't know. It seems like it's going to be quiet today. How are you, mate? Are you all right?
Yeah, it's the same as every day, and nothing seems to be really. I've seen quite a few like rumours, and we'll
Yeah,
get into them, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm all right in general, just working and, coming home, see if Spurs have signed anyone and being disappointed as always. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean,
yeah,
mate.
yeah, people in the chat, before we start, if you could do us an absolute solid, please like and please subscribe to Pure Coys. Also, please get over to the Two Mark Show and subscribe to their channel as well. I have pinned it at the top of the chat. You cannot miss it. Just go to the top of the chat, click it. It doesn't even take you out of the room, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get into the chat. Well, it's Cookie.
It's me. Yeah.
It
Smash
is.
a like for Nige, everyone. Make sure you sub up to him, mate. He's just gone over 850, on the way to 1,000. So yeah,
And there slowly.
get subbing. Tell all your friends, get him subbed up to 1,000. He deserves it. It's working hard for it.
Big up audio.
Big up, audio. Hope you well, mate.
Big up Rich. Hope you're well.
Big up, Rich.
Right, mate, let's get into it. Shall we just start with the elephant in the room, the same one we always start with, which is the Morgan Gibbs White deal?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Have you seen anything? What are you thinking about it?
I've seen, like you said earlier, Nige, the old rumour mill going around and whatever. A little bit I saw earlier on about the bid maybe have been increased. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I've seen a couple of little different bits and pieces floating about, but again, it's all rumours. We'll see. I still think he'll end up being a Spurs player. I just think Marinakis is playing silly games, mate. It's just madness. I don't know what's going on in regards to the intricacies of the deal, maybe stuff we don't know about, but I think he'll be coming to Spurs, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Nige, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. It's the same with any Spurs transfer. The longer it goes, the more you get concerned about it. But there has been some bits of news today on Twitter, and this is obviously from Jack Pitbrook. Tonight, he has said on Morgan Gibbs White that most of his contacts are pretty unanimous that the deal will eventually get done. So that's good news. Let me find, I think I got another one. Yeah, Morgan Gibbs White has also said he wants his future resolved before Nottingham Forest leave for their training camp in Portugal on Monday, with the midfielder still keen on a move to Tottenham. He's also saying a second offer from Tottenham of 65 million is thought to have been discussed. What do you think about that? That's if he's saying he wants his future wrapped up before Monday, basically that kind of gives us tomorrow, doesn't it? You don't really feel that feel that transfers happen over the weekend much.
No, I suppose there'll be stuff going on in the background. It all depends on how much we want him, how much they want to keep him, how difficult they want to make life for him to get that transfer. I'm sure somewhere along the line he will be offered a new contract at Forest if he hasn't been already. Everything's saying that he wants to come to Spurs. So for me, this is just me, that the time's coming where if it's not being resolved, he's going to have to put in a transfer request, doesn't he, if he wants to come. So
yeah, and I think this weekend is going to be where it all happens. Like I said, if he's being forced to fly away with Forest on Monday, if he really wants to come to Spurs, it's all going to have to happen within the next 3 days, effectively. And like you say, he may have to hand in a transfer request. It wouldn't surprise me if Forest tried to offer him a new contract, and that's a bit of a concern. I know, you say that he wants to leave, but if Forest were to say, we'll give you 150 grand a week, that might tempt him. You never know.
That's what I say. It all depends on how much he really wants to come. If he wants to come that much, it will get dealt with, Nige, over the next few days. If they put obstacles in his way, yeah, then you'll find out how much he wants to come, or was it just, to get more money out of Forest, or so on and so forth. I'm sure when the deal either happens or it doesn't happen, all the grubby details in the middle that we don't really know about will all come out, and we'll find out what was really going on and what was holding it all up.
Yeah, I like the fact that he has come out. If he has come out and said I want it sorted by Monday, though, because it now just puts a time limit on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Just
think by
tightens everything.
Monday we're going to know one way or the other.
Mm,
Let's
yeah,
get into the
definitely.
chat again. Evening, Milton. Good to meet you last night, mate.
Yeah, big up, Milton.
Hope
Thanks
it's
for
not.
being in
Hope it's not.
last night, mate.
Hope it's not too cold for you tonight
Yeah,
or this morning.
poor sod.
Big up, which I know. I get the impression he's not going to. No, he's acting really professional, isn't he? So which is great, but at some point he's got to put his foot down.
Yeah, yeah.
Big up,
Big up,
Brian.
Ryan. Big up, mate.
As George Michael once sang, I'm not going to sing it. Gotta have faith. I'm still supremely confident that Morgan Gibbs White will be a Spurs player. Big up.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, Brian. Everyone's saying hello to each other.
yeah. Big up, mate. Big up, Brian. Here he
And
is.
there is the sheriff. Big up,
Sheriff's
sheriff,
in
mate.
town. Big up, Sheriff. Don't work too hard,
You,
mate. We are
no,
thinking of you, fella. We are thinking of you, mate.
we are. We are. It's not the same without you.
No, it's definitely not.
Big up, Morton Barley. This is because Marinakis and Levy are heads locked like two. Yeah, absolutely right. You can imagine, couldn't you? You can imagine the phone calls between them. If they actually, do you
Yeah.
think they actually speak to each other, or do you think they got like other people who speak for them?
I would say it's other people speaking for them, mate. That's my thing. I don't know how that sort of stuff works. I don't want to sit here and preach to be an expert on it, but I'm sure there's other people working in the background to deal with it. And I'm also sure that if they do have to speak to each other about it, that it will happen, Nige, at the end of the day. If Levy is still involved with the transfers, and yeah, all right, if he's still involved with the transfers, the chairman will talk at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
if it comes to that point, I'm sure it will happen. But at the same time, I'm sure there's other people trying to deal with the situation, and either get the transfer done, or the time will also, what we haven't mentioned, Nige, is when is the time to move on from Morgan Gibbs White as far as the transfer window for Tottenham is concerned? Do you keep maybe flogging a dead horse, or does the time come when you think, what, we've bid what we're bidding for him, it's not happening, we'll move on, we've got other targets? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't want to move on. I don't want to move on.
No, well, yeah,
I'm
but
quite.
as a club, as a
I
club,
really want him. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
I
know.
want him as well. I'd love him at Spurs. I think he'll be fantastic, like I've said before. But for the club, as in the transfer window, 6 weeks to go, I'm sure, if Tottenham are moving like a big club, they'll have other irons in the fire as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
when does that point come where you think we're not getting anywhere here, we're going to leave this alone and go and pursue other targets in our transfer window? I don't know. Would it work like that, or do they carry on pursuing Morgan Gibbs White and then carry on working with other stuff in the transfer window? I don't know.
Yeah. Big
I
up,
don't know.
Jim.
Big up, Jim.
Let us know in the chat, guys. Do we continue to wait and see what happens, or what do you think? How long do we give it before we move on? Would you just move on if it went on another week, or would you hang on and see if we could get him? Let us know in the chat, because there is another story just after that, which I kind of feel maybe could join the Morgan Gibbs White one. And that is that Nottingham Forest transfer news getting reports that Jacob Ramsey from Aston Villa is in Nottingham. Now, this is Twitter, so it could all be complete crap, but we're just bringing you what we're seeing. But Jacob Ramsey coming in for Forest, it kind of paves the way for Morgan Gibbs White to leave then, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it tells you Forest are looking at other avenues, aren't they? And perhaps from a Forest point of view, that may be another reason why they're not willing to let him go, even though they haven't said that, until they've got a replacement in or someone that can fill in a sort of around that area. Maybe, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
another thought wave, brain wave that I just had then. But that may be another thing. But it is interesting that Forest are, searching out not necessarily replacements, but players that are playing in and around the area that Morgan Gibbs White would play. So yeah, that is interesting. It's interesting that.
Yeah, obviously, Lazo, I don't know whether you were here at the start, but Morgan Gibbs White has said that he wants it sorted before Monday when Forest fly out for their training camp. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I know Portugal's not far, is it? If he has to fly back, he has to fly back. But he's saying he wants it sorted before Forest go away. So it'd be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days. Morton
yeah,
Barley saying he's on the plane Monday, then walk away. Yeah, I'm kind of feel that way as well. I think if he's on the plane Monday, it's probably not going to happen, and
yeah.
then it could be time to
I
walk
mean,
away.
at the end of the day, we're closing in on Spurs. We've got a friendly, I think, very soon in the next couple of days against Reading.
Yeah,
Pre-season's ramping up, soon, and you like to get your players in. I know Spurs, don't work that way generally, and they get players in late in the window and so on and so forth. But ideally, you'll have your targets and you'll want to get them in before your pre-season tour starts, because obviously that is a big part of your lead up to your season.
yeah,
When you're going away from home and playing, your pre-season. So it I obviously, and I'm sure you and everyone in the chat would like him in, before Forest go on tour and before Spurs go away, and hopefully that'll happen, Nige. Hopefully it'll happen over the next few days. That they'll sort out whatever it is, like we've said, there's many things it could be, and it gets done, and it's up to them to sort the deal and get it done, and we're praying that it does get done and Morgan Gibbs White ends up a Tottenham player. And that'll be a great start to the window to have Kudos in, Kudus, I should say. Morgan Gibbs White in. I think Danzo is a respectable, I'm not saying he's, the best centre-back since sliced bread. But, he looks very capable last
yeah.
season when he was playing. Tell's coming as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Tell, but I'm willing to give it, like Solanke, I'm willing to give everyone a chance under this manager. And I know people have said in other chats, well, Solanke never done it at Liverpool, he never done it at Chelsea, he never done it. But now we've got a new manager, we're going to have new tactics, new system. Let's see what he can do now for Spurs, because the way I look at it is, as much as I wasn't, and I know you're a fan of Solanke, Nige, I want a centre forward that plays centre forward, and hopefully we're going to see that this year rather than him dropping off, picking the ball up. Hopefully Maddison's going to be higher up the pitch this season as well, and not coming back to DM to pick the ball up. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Solanke takes off. I'm hoping that he gets the service, and please God, score a bag full of goals for Tottenham Hotspur, mate. Prove us all wrong. Prove us all wrong.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? Do you know why I quite like Solanke? I do think he. I mean, first of all, I do think he needs to man up a little bit. He's a bit of a beast of a man, isn't he? He's a big old boy, but he's always got a smile on his face. He's always like, I wish he was a little bit nastier, if you know what I mean. I think if
Yeah,
he was a little bit nastier, I think he'd be a really good player. I just think he's a good finisher when he's got in the chances, got in the areas and had chances. He's usually, not always, but usually taken them. Um, Morton Barley saying Forest have a friendly Saturday evening against Monaco. Will he play in that? Do you think, guys? I think I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be sorted by tomorrow.
I'm hopeful, mate. Yeah, it, the sooner the better for me. Look, one way or the other. You know, if he's coming, he's coming. If he's not, make a statement. No, he's staying at Forest or he's going wherever he's going. And we can all move on then. You know, I think we were when he was when his name was mentioned, you know, to come into Spurs, I think most fans were really quite excited that, you know, that all action number 8 would be coming in, or wherever he plays 10, 8, but generally an 8. You know, he gets around the pitch, puts his foot in, he's got a pass, he's got an engine, he's got a shot. He's not Nige by any stretch of the imagination. He is not a god or anything like that, but he is definitely an upgrade on what we've got, and that's what we've been asking for. So please, I hope he comes in. I really hope he comes in.
Yeah, and the reason I say I think it's sorted tomorrow, just because of the Monday thing, and like Morton Barley said, they're playing Saturday night. I think he's either going to sign or he's not. So I think we will know one way or another by tomorrow evening if he's going to be a Spurs player. It wouldn't even surprise me if it breaks tonight, like later on tonight, it's sorted one way or another.
Yeah.
But let's see, guys. Please get over to the 2 Mark Show and subscribe to the channel. I have pinned the link at the top of the chat, so you cannot miss it. Just go to the top of the chat, click the link, and you don't even have to leave the room. Let's get into some more of the chat.
Yeah, who else is in? Let's
get Sheriff's thing up. Smash that like button. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jun saying our whole window cannot rest on one player unless that. No. Possibly, but then I think it depends who we've got to come in instead, doesn't it, of Morgan Gibbs White. Say Morgan Gibbs White doesn't get done. Who do we have coming in that's going to be as good or as exciting as Morgan Gibbs White? And it doesn't have to be, heard Sava saying earlier, it doesn't have to be a massive name. It's not about spending the most money. It's buying the right player that fits what Frank wants. So if he wants Harvey Elliott, for instance, then go and get him. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him as a person, you know, but, you know, that's by the by. I think he's arrogant on the verge of being a bit of an arse. But there is no doubt he is a fantastic footballer. You know, wonderful left foot, really good on the ball, can assist, can score. Yeah, what do you think of him?
Harvey Elliott, yeah, I like him. I think what you were saying about a bit of arrogance, there's a bit of something about him on the pitch. He's another one. He'll put it about a bit. And I think we need a bit of that in our team. It's all right having all these silky footballers. I think Kudus is another one. I said to you before, Nige, if Frank gets him on that right trajectory, you know, gets his arm round him, tells him he's the best thing since sliced bread, keep doing what you're doing, kid. Do you know what I mean? He's going to have a great time for Spurs down that right-hand side. Honestly, he is. And it'll be great. And I think, you know, Frank coming in, he'll know who he can point the finger at a bit and say, come on, son, you can do a bit better than that. And he'll also know who he has to put his arm round. And I think that's great from a coach. From a coach, and we talk about coaches coaching on the field, but all that sort of stuff is part of it as well. You know, he'll know who he can have a bit of a pop at and who he's got to put his arm around, and that's part of it at the end of the day.
Yep. No, I totally agree. Big up Dave Jones. He's saying, yes, I'm sure it'll be done by Monday. The good thing is that Morgan Gibbs White wants to come to Spurs. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Razzle Dazzle saying, I hope Morgan Gibbs White sees the Forest fans. Yeah, they are absolutely ripping into him, aren't they?
Getting hammered, isn't he, on there? Yeah.
Razzle saying, I'm with you, Nige. Solanke getting 20 goals. Yeah, I think he will. As long as he gets chances.
Yeah. Let's hope so, Razzle. Let's hope so. Let's really hope so. It's I think he is going to get the chances as well this season. I think the way, you know, the multiple ways that Frank can play, you know, them balls are going to be coming in. I don't think you'll find us trying to walk the ball in the net as often as we have done over the last 2 seasons. Hopefully, we're going to see a bit more action outside the area, shots popping off, patterns of play, and so on and so forth. So I think you'll see a vastly different Tottenham this season.
No, I agree. Big up Henry. He is saying free Morgan Gibbs White. Absolutely. Psycho teacher. Good evening. Hope you're well, mate.
Big up, mate.
I wish. Yeah. Well, I've turned over a new leaf this season. I'm going to be positive. It's all positive. I was so negative last season. I can't take any more negativity. Not until we start losing, at least.
And I'll carry on trying to say it as I see it, whether it's negative or positive. Unfortunately, that's just how I am. And yeah. I'll give the Jews when the Jews are due, Nige, as they say. But I will also have a go at someone when it's not, when I don't think it's not. Anyway, it's only our opinion at the end of the day, mate, isn't it?
Absolutely. Razzle saying, I would love Clivert from Bournemouth. Yeah, I like Clivert as well.
Yeah, he's decent. There's a lot of decent players out there, but they're all commanding. Players like Clivert. I don't know. I don't know if Bournemouth would be selling him anyway. They've sold a few, haven't they? Sold a few of their back line, haven't they? Got rid of over the window. I know he's up front, but if you take Clivert, I mean, I don't know, Nige. If Clivert was coming from Bournemouth to Spurs, what would he be up for sale for now? What's his sort of figure going on the figures that are being bandied about for players at the moment? What is he? Is he a £40 million player, £30 million player?
I would say around 40, like 40 mil. Tops.
Is he really a £40 million player though? When you look at it on the thing, is he the type of player, Clivert, you think, oh yeah, I could see him for Spurs up front? I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I've seen bits and pieces, but I haven't watched him to give a whole opinion on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For me, I like him, but would I take him I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's one that if we signed him, I'd be like, oh wow, we've got Clivert. Semenyo maybe. Semenyo I like better, but I think he's decent, Clivert. But
yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
Corey Boy saying he would take 29 Harveys over 1 Johnson. I get the impression that that you don't like Johnson.
Yeah,
And then the sheriff's coming in with the Johnson chant.
Ole.
Morton Barley with 4 alternatives to Morgan Gibbs White. Enzo can't pronounce his name. If I said Milo, then it's probably not that at all. The guy from Leicester, I can't pronounce either. Lopez from Barcelona, Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Xavi Simons, I like him. Yeah, but he's another one that would be, the upper echelons on the money wise. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about 60 million, something like that, I would imagine. And he's another one. His name has been bantered about for a long time, over the last few weeks and even a couple of months. And he's been mentioned about, and he's a very, very good player. I like him. Whether he'd come to Spurs or not, I don't know. But yeah, I like him. And see, that is the sort of signing, for argument's sake, if MGW didn't go through, right? For argument's sake, you got your 65 million that you've bid. They don't want to take your money. They don't want to sell him. So if you're going to go and buy someone and you're going to go and build your team around them in the midfield, that sort of player, then go and get someone like Xavi Simons and do that around him. If you think he's that sort of all, does a bit of everything, it's just a lot of money. I know it's not our money. Do you know what I mean? And we all look at players that we think might be slightly different levels, Nige, and they sort of seem similar, but everyone seems to be 40 million now, or everyone seems, what I mean? So it's just trying to what's the word? Differentiate. Sorry, I can't get that word out. That's shocking. What the levels are, but it is what it is.
No, you're right. These wingers that are going up for sale at the moment and moving clubs, they all seem to be around the 60 million mark, don't they? Between 50 and 60 million.
Yeah.
So, interesting one. Jun saying that 12 goals. I think that was for Cliver. Was it Cliver?
Okay,
12
yeah,
goals, 6 assists.
yeah,
Yeah, decent. But again, we could say, you look at Johnson's stats and they're fantastic. But 50 million for a BJ. Wow, must have been a great BJ for 50 million.
yeah. It must have been.
Exactly.
He must have been a rich
Exactly, mate.
man as well.
Mhm. Has he been any more news about the mystery Brighton player? Wow, maybe. Let me bring this up because I found this on Twitter today as well.
Mm.
And that is this that Spurs are interested maybe in
Oh
Van
yeah,
Hecker.
Paul Van Hecker.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a centre back, isn't he, for Brighton?
yeah, yeah. He is. Watched him a bit over the last couple of seasons. He's one of them that just marshals the defence quite well. Um,
Yeah.
he's I don't know. He would remind me, and I don't know. The chat might come in and absolutely hammer me here. I'm not, right up on Brighton players, but as a Thomas Frank player, Ben Mee at Brentford. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben Mee at Brentford.
Yeah.
He reminds me of being that type of player for Brighton, but maybe a bit more cultured, if that makes sense. He's, a very good defender. He's good at what he does, but he can pass the ball out as well. Marshals his defence very well with Lewis Dunk at the back there. I quite like him. He's a decent player. He's all right.
Yeah, I think Van Hecker is a very good. He's a very good footballer as well, isn't he? Very comfortable on the ball. I think that's what you get that a lot with the Brighton players, don't you? The defenders are all very comfortable on the ball. They play out from the
Yeah,
back, gets them in trouble sometimes, but they're very comfortable. And yeah, I
yeah,
like him. He'd be a
yeah,
good signing, I think,
yeah.
if it's true.
Guinness
Morton
guru.
Barley's, I know. Morton Barley said Xavi Simmons would be my choice. Forest rumoured to be looking at the Leicester guy as a
Yeah,
Morgan Gibbs White replacement.
yeah,
Yeah, the more we read, the more it feels like Forest are just trying to get a replacement in before we take him.
yeah.
To me,
Yeah, that's true enough. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. But it's like most clubs, Nige. Most clubs work like that, don't they? If they know that they've got one going out, or the chances are there's one going out, you're already looking, aren't you? And a lot of clubs are brave enough to make that signing before that player has actually moved on. A lot of clubs
yeah,
do that. So it is what
yeah,
it is.
and I think that's what we were talking about last night as well. When I said I think part of the reason why Forest are so pissed off with Spurs is because it come out of the blue so much it didn't give Forest that chance to go out and get a replacement first. I mean,
Yeah,
if Spurs had gone to Forest and said, we want to pay the release fee, Forest may have said, okay, that's fine. Can you let us get someone in first?
yeah,
You can, we agree at all, but can we not have it come out yet? Can we just get a replacement in and then he's all yours? I think maybe that's what's annoyed Forest so much.
yeah, yeah. Very possible. Very possible. Like we said earlier, though, Nige, you could well be right, but there could be a multitude of reasons for whatever little bits and pieces that may have been in the contract of Morgan Gibbs White. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
His advisor, his agent will know. And like we've said on other streams, is it his agent? Is it Morgan Gibbs White? Is it someone else that's told someone else that, you know what I mean? So who knows, man? Who knows? That they're big boys. They'll deal with it. Like we said, as much as we want him, he'll either come or he won't come. And let's hope it's in the next couple of days. Get it done before Monday, before Forest are off, and he's our player. Get settled in, and let's get a good season out of him with a bit of luck.
Absolutely. I find this bit of transfer news. This is a bit left field.
All right, okay. Who's this geezer?
This kind of come out of nowhere. This is maybe a player leaving,
Right, okay.
and that's this.
Ooh,
And it's saying James Maddison is the one name's being considered by Al Halai this summer.
wow. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen that, Nige. That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Maddison going. He's got how many kids he's got now? He's got 4 kids now. He's
Yeah, I think so.
fucking
4,
them
yeah.
out.
Yeah. He's only had a
Yeah,
couple last year, or so. Is it something like that? Had
yeah.
a couple of babies. So yeah,
But
I
maybe
don't
it's more.
know. I don't know. It depends. He's won his trophy last year. No thingy. I don't know how old is Madison now. Nige, is he 28, 29 now? Or is he not as old as that?
28. I think he's about 28. Yeah.
It's a bit early yet. I was going to say, I'm thinking of his injury record, and I know the Leicester boys that have been in the other chats before, they've all said, fantastic player, gets injured too much, misses too much of the season. So all I was thinking I'm not saying I want him to go, by the way, people. I don't want Maddison to go. I think he's a very tricky player. I think he'll be great on one side with Kudos on the other side, but
Mm.
he might think to himself, hang on a minute, with his injury record that he has had, for him, that might be as rich as he would be now by, being a footballer getting paid as a footballer for the last 10 years or so or more, that it's a big payday for him. That might be his, even at 28, you might say, well, footballers go on till they're 33, 34, 35, whatever. But because of his injury record, it might well suit him to go and do something like that for a couple of years, Nigel, and go and get 300 grand a week rather than 400 grand a week or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just playing a bit of devil's advocate on behalf of James Maddison.
Yeah. No, I'm very much in the mindset of there's I can't think there's any way he would go, but you're right. He's got 4 kids, and Milton says, hey, his missus has just had twins.
Yeah.
But you could go to Saudi for a year, even 18 months, come back to the Premier League, and yeah, as Sherrod just said, retirement fund. He's set for life. I mean, he's set for life anyway, but
Yeah.
that extra money.
I just want to say, audio, I agree with you. World Cup, I don't think he'll be going. I was just playing a bit of devil's advocate from the point of that he's had injuries, a lot of injuries throughout his career. He misses pretty much, a third to half a season, most seasons. When he's out for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks at a time, and so on. And it just might be one of them things where he thinks, like, for him and his family, that might suit him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want him to go. I'll point that out again. I love Madders, and I think to get a full season out of Madders would be great. Do you know what I mean? It'd be great for Spurs, because if you think the goals that he scored last season and his assists last season, and he probably missed a third of the season last year. So whatever that was, you could add a third to that, and I think that would be an absolutely fantastic season, wouldn't it, for Maddison personally? So he's a fantastic player. There's no doubt about it. Just a bit of devil's advocate. I was just putting other things out there, because when you do see things like that come up, Nige, you look at him and you go, really? James Maddison to Saudi, really? So
And then you think to yourself, well, apparently Frank has said the reason he wants Morgan Gibbs White is he wants that number 10 player, that perfect number 10 to suit. And then suddenly you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen to Maddison then? Because he's number 10. I mean, I think, as I've said before, and I think you agree, they play together, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are thinking that Morgan Gibbs White could be almost a replacement for Maddison. So it would be interesting. I can't see it, but who knows?
Who knows, mate? Who knows?
Another bit of news up, and this is this. And apparently, Tottenham have held a new round of talks with Bayern Munich for midfielder João Palhinha in the last week. I think we probably covered this, but he's also got interest from Inter Milan, but has indicated a move back to London would appeal to him more. Would you take him?
All day long, 8 days of the week. Yeah, I've said to you on your I think on our stream yesterday and your stream before, Nige, that for me, and I know a lot of people I'm just going to move slightly and then come back to Paulinia. We was talking about Wharton yesterday, right? Now, for me, and not everyone agrees with what I'm saying, but I'm looking at it from a football point of view and from a Levy point of view, right? If Adam Wharton came in for 80 million quid to Spurs, right, I would be over the moon, because I know and I can see, and I'm sure many other people can, this kid can play football. Now, you can look at it from the other point and say, well, he's only played 22 games in the Premier League, and a few cup games. He had a bit of an injury last season, at the end of last season as well. But
Yeah.
when you look at what he does in that team for Crystal Palace, you're only looking at an improvement. As long as that kid stays fit, honestly, 4 years' time, how much is he worth, Nige, in 4 years' time, when his game's matured and he's added even more to it? I'm not being. He just looks as though he's got everything, and it's just got to be brought out in him. But then you go back to, we'll change it back to Paulinho again, right? 29 years old. Do you want him to come in, even if he came in, I'm not being funny, on a 2-year contract, right, till he was 31? For me, someone like Paulinho, is the grade for someone that Archie Gray should be looking to get to. If Archie Gray wants to become a proper DM, he needs to start learning off of good people that are very good in that position quickly. Right? Apparently, this is what we bought Archie Gray for, to be a DM. So it needs to be coached into him by the manager, and it also needs for an experienced DM of someone of Paulinho's stature, because he is a very good player. Then you're not spending the 80 million on Wharton, you're spending 30 million on Paulinho. That's freeing up 30, 40, 50 million pound for another player that you could possibly bring in. So it's a bit of both. I love Wharton. He's a lot of money, but if he came in, I'd love it. I think he'd transform us. But at the same time, for 50 million quid cheaper, an older player, 29 years old, but he's been there, done it, bit of Premier League experience with Fulham. And I just think that, he'd be great for us as well. I love Paulinho. Love him.
No, I kind of agree. I think it's one of them, isn't it? If we've got £350 million to spend and that investment's come in and we're going big, then fine, go get Wharton, because he's our number 6 for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But if we are thinking, well, we need to improve at left back, we need to improve at left wing, we need to improve up front, we need a new number 6, then we're going to have to spend that money wisely, aren't we? And share it around a little bit. And I think Paulinho would be absolutely perfect. He's experienced, he's proven, he's lived in London, Champions League experience, he's won the Euros with Portugal. He won the Nations League with Portugal as well. So he's ideal. It depends, but again, it depends which way Spurs want to go, isn't it? If they want to go, will they spend that money on a older player, or, as I've said before, will they, if they're going to spend less money, bring a younger player in like a Hayden Hackney? It depends what they want to do, doesn't it? But we've been linked with another number 6 today, which is interesting. Player I don't know too much about, but I've done a bit of looking at him, done a few YouTube videos, and he looks decent. And this is this guy, Arden Jassari. Apparently, Johan Lang has tracked him most of the season. The defensive midfielder has grown to become one of the highest value players in Belgium. Valued at 35 million euros by Club Brugge, the midfielder has lots of interest after a great campaign. Jassari is a potential number 6 target for Spurs, with lots of homework compiled on the player from this season. Do you know anything about him?
I don't know a lot about him. I know that when I've been watching Savage streams, I've seen him mentioned. To be honest with you, I haven't watched him play, so I don't want to comment that he's fantastic or he's this or he's that or the other. But how old is he, Nige? Do we know how old he is? Is he sort of 20, 21?
I think he's
young.
22, I think. I think he's
Okay.
23, 30th of July, so the end of the month.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, if they've been compiling, dossiers on him, and they've obviously been tracking him for a
Yeah,
while, and if they've been looking at him for a season, then there's obviously some interest somewhere along the line. So again, we're talking about players like Wharton, but
yeah,
you know, for £50 million less, you're talking about Jashari, so it, there's levels to what we're talking about in. We just mentioned earlier, three midfielders, Hayden Hackney, yeah, Adam Wharton
yeah.
and Paulinia in between.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's a case of, again, do they want to go down the younger route from the championship? Do you want the experience of the older fella? Or do you go for the younger player that's,
yeah,
that you look at him and you think, wow, this kid could be a superstar? Do you know what I mean? So it
yeah.
depends what you want to spend at the end of the day and where you think that money's going. We'll see. We'll see.
No, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. But he does look like a decent player. But again, he's at that age, isn't he? 22, 23, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to
And
be interesting.
I'm sure the wages have
Also,
fit
this
as well, Nige.
what? Well, yeah, exactly, exactly. This is another story coming in. But again, I think Visser is almost certainly looks to be on his way to Newcastle to me. But it says Brentford forward Johan Wissa would prefer a reunion with Thomas Frank at
Mm.
Tottenham rather than sign for Newcastle. Another
So
interesting one, but again, Spurs want him. They're going to have to go get him because other clubs are interested in him.
that's it. Well, so basically, in that statement, Wissa's just letting Tottenham know if they haven't been in touch already, because we don't know, obviously. But if they
Yeah,
haven't been in touch, he's just letting them know, Spurs, if you're looking for a forward, yeah, I'm here and I'm happy to come.
yeah, man.
So all you got to do is
Yeah,
make the call. That's what he's saying basically. And if not, I'll go Newcastle. It's all right. If they want me, I'll go there instead. So
yeah,
he's got the best of both worlds there. He's just letting Spurs know that, yeah, I'm available. Come and get me if you want me.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Trying to find another story here. Have I got this one? Oh, saw this one. I thought it was interesting. Tottenham want Morgan Gibbs White and Johan Wissa signed and ready to play next week.
Yeah.
The Gibbs White deal, as I've said all along, is merely a delay and was always going to happen. And it looks like Tottenham are ready to pursue the deal for Wissa in the coming days. Again, it's a bit guesswork, isn't it?
And
That
it also depends as well, Nigel, on what other clubs are doing. I don't want to get into because
yeah,
I'm not no I don't follow other teams, through the roof like we follow Spurs. But Newcastle were trying to do bits. So, I know they was made a bid for, was it Ekatike, but then Liverpool have come
yeah,
in for a bid with him as well. So there's all movement going around, different players going to different clubs, freeing up other players available to come into other, and so on, and the wheels all turning, all the cogs for the players that people are after, and they'll either get them or they won't get them, mate. And you just got to hope that
yeah.
you're not the last cog in that wheel, and something
Um,
breaks down in between, like house movements, really, Nige, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you're in a jam with other people. So yeah, we'll see.
it's a bit of a snowball effect, isn't it? It just takes one transfer
Yeah,
to make a whole load of
yeah,
things happen. And at the moment, it feels like it's all a bit of a standstill. And I think maybe this Morgan Gibbs White deal
mm,
is holding a lot of things up,
yeah, very
but
possibly, very possibly. It's it. These things take time. They're it's like the Gibbs White deal. It came out of the blue, didn't it? That one came out of the blue, and we've had a couple that have come out at us. Just like that. And they've been done over the last couple of transfer windows. Odiber was one I can remember. No one would do nothing about that. Then all of a sudden, Spurs have signed, Odiber from Burnley. Boom, done, finished, agreed,
yeah,
and done. But how long they were pursuing that behind, with no one knowing, who knows? It might have been 2 days, it might have been 2 months. So perhaps Lang's one of those fellas that just likes to keep under the radar. he's going about doing his business, and that necessarily is not a bad thing. It's not good for YouTubers trying to get noise out there about what's going on with the fans and having a chat about it. But if that's how he conducts his business, and he sees fit to do that to keep other teams away from what he's trying to achieve, then I can see why he does keep a bit on the quieter side, But it is what it is, mate. It is what it is.
No, I totally agree. Razzle Dazzle's got a question. Well, kind of question. He's like, did you rate Ekitike in the games against us? In the first game, he scored a good goal, but in the second, he disappeared. Well, disappeared for the rest of the games, really.
First game, I thought, I say both games, that on the TV, they made a big deal about him, if you remember. In the before the game, Spurs have got to watch this fella, blah, 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 blah. And, he scored the goal, so on. He had good movement off the ball. He had a bit of movement off the ball, which I like. I've said before, I find with Spurs players, excuse me, especially over the last couple of seasons, that our movement off the ball has not been very good. So when I watched Ekitike, I made a point of watching him in the first game. And even though, he wasn't absolutely brilliant, and he scored the goal, and he was trying to make bits and pieces happen with his movement, which I liked. And, I think he's a very good player. We did well against him, to be fair. That was the only real opportunity that he had. But his general in-game play, he was trying to make stuff happen, in the first game. In the second game, we just put a wall up, didn't we? Let's be fair.
Yeah, he had a couple of good runs though in the second game, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked dangerous, but couldn't quite get through. I think we defended really well against him.
Yeah. I like him, though, to be honest with you. I do like him. And I think he's a decent player, and I think he will shine in a bigger team with better players as well.
They do well at Liverpool. He's got Liverpool written all over him, I think. He's, you watch the way he plays, he's very Liverpool-esque. But, bit of a gutter, really. I'd like him at Spurs. But Morton Barley saying, what is your take on Garnacho coming to Spurs? He's not for me, I'm afraid. More a personality problem than anything else. Yeah, we touched on this last night, mate, didn't we?
Yeah. And Gary, for me, it's a nail right on the head. I said to you, it's not so much about the football. It's about, and it is what he says. He hit the word. I didn't use that word last night. But for me, that is a personality problem. On the pitch, as a shot misses, and it was like it was the end of the world. Head goes up, and oh my God, and all that crap. I'm not into all that. All right, you missed, mate. Good luck. Go and do what you're doing. Crack on. Do better the next time. You know what I mean? I think he's a decent footballer, Gary. To be fair, I do think he's a decent footballer, and he will have a go. He will try and take people on. I wouldn't say he's the fastest in the world, but he does have a go. But for me, he's not my cup of tea either, Gary. Yeah. So, Nige?
No, I'm in agreement. You know what? I watch him and I feel like it's almost like you watch Ronaldo play, and he is exactly the same. I'm not talking about player wise, but Ronaldo does the same. He misses the chance, heads in the air, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
But Ronaldo, world class. He's done it, been there, done it, scored so many goals.
Yeah.
I kind of think Garnacho is almost like thinks he's a bit of a mini Ronaldo, and he's not anywhere in that class for me. He's good. He's decent. He's probably better than anything we got on the left-hand side. But for me, I'm just not sure. Not for me. He's just not a signing that if we made, I'd be like, oh, wow. I'd actually rather keep Tell and see what he could do.
Yeah. So it's interesting because we've got such an overload at the moment on the left-hand side as well, Nige. And we talk about bringing others in. When you think about it, if we're going to bring anyone in on that side, which I'm not sure I can see us doing now, because he's got the option of playing Maddison out there if he wants to. Yeah. He's got Son. He's got Tell, yeah, and that's just what you would call the three main first team wingers, if you want to call them that. Yeah, that they can all play inside forward as well.
Yeah.
You know, so where does another one come in without selling people? And he's not going to sell Tell. And this is where your story on Maddison, yeah, even though it was, from whoever it came from, he's probably a load of crap, right? But that is where it could then make sense if they were to get rid of Maddison to then be bringing someone in. But I don't see that they'll do it without selling anyone on the left-hand side. He's got three there straight away that he can just say, you're playing left wing today. You know what I mean?
No,
So
absolutely.
I don't know. What do you think, Nige? Do you think Son might go after the tour games, or do you think he's going to stay now for his contract?
I'm still convinced that he's going to leave.
Okay.
Personally, I'm still convinced he's going to leave after this Asian tour. But I don't know. I really don't know. Big up to Morton Barley. Thank you for subscribing. I'm sure you have subscribed to the Two Marks Show, but if you haven't, please get over, mate, and
Yeah, please
subscribe
get
to the
over
Two
there.
Marks Show
Just to
as
let
well.
you know, we're chasing down 500. I think we're sort of 448 or 4, something like that. We're about 50 to go to 500. So, yeah, help us out, guys, if you can, please. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get him past 450 tonight.
Great, yeah.
Sonny, definitely. Yeah, I think he's on his way out. It's one of them, isn't it? So, here's a question for you, Mark, because I'm not. Sonny has been a bit of a legend to this
Yeah.
club. Obviously, the last couple of years he has regressed. He's getting older,
Mm.
and he's not got Kane by his side.
Yep.
People forget what a good link up Kane and Son had. So he was always going to struggle a little bit more. Looking at our left-hand side, though, and we're talking about Sonny leaving, I still think he's probably the best of what we got out there.
Well, we haven't seen enough from Tell, have we?
No.
And a lot of people say, yeah, we have seen enough from Tell. Sorry. Again, it's like from what I've seen, he's not my cup of tea, but he's a young lad. Again, we've spoken about it's not it's not a rebuild by any stretch of the imagination. I think we've been doing that and buying in young players and so on. I think it's just like a restart. There's a new manager with new everything. Everything's different. Coaching team's different. They're going to be coached in a different way. They're probably going to eat in a different way. They're going to piss in a different way. Everything's going to be different. Sorry for swearing, Nige. Yeah, everything's going to be different, right? So we also spoke about how much players, just because now they will be getting coached and getting directed in a different way on the field, how much a lot of the players will just naturally improve. And I believe, like I've said, big up Phil, like I've said a few times, a lot of these players, you will see stuff from them that you never saw in the last 2 years because they weren't trained to play that way. And it's just going to make a massive difference, I think. So let's see what happens at the start of the season. Let's get to Christmas. And I think, I'm not saying we're going to be top of the league by any stretch of the imagination, but I think you will probably see over the course of the first 6 months a big improvement from the start of that to being 6 months in. You'll see bits and pieces going on the pitch that you weren't seeing before, and you'll see an improvement, Nige. It's just where I am with it.
No, and I couldn't agree more. It's difficult, isn't it? Because we haven't seen much from Tao, and from what we have seen, hasn't been overly impressive. I think he tries hard. One thing I will say about Tao is he's always wanting the ball. He's never hiding, and I do find a few Spurs players hide away, and he's always showing for it.
Yeah.
And he's done okay. Who knows? This season he might absolutely fly, and we've got a new player on our hands. But Milton, maybe. I think you need to come on No Mud in the Pub.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, definitely.
Guinness Guru said, my wife, I don't know if I should read this out. My wife wore an Arsenal shirt for charity yesterday. She was swore at, kicked at, spat at, and in the afternoon she left the house. I like that. And Psycho Teacher said, big up to Philly. So, players out, mate. We've talked about Sonny. I'm guessing we're thinking Richarlison's almost certainly going to leave.
Yeah.
There is apparently an offer from the Brazilian side, 55 million for him. Whether he wants to go back to Brazil is another story.
Well, let's see how good Lang is now then, if he's part of getting players out as well. Because I'm telling you now, right, if they manage to get £55 million, right, for Richarlison, I'm coming out of retirement, mate. It's honestly, because I'll be worth 500 grand. You know what I mean? It's madness. It's madness. But if they can get that sort of dough for him, we paid 60 million. We all said, like, Jesus Christ, 60 million for Richarlison, you know? And yeah, you know, he's done bits and bobs for us. So I can't, but he's not overall. When we've needed him, he's been injured. Do you know what I mean? And odds and sods, and you know, plays 10 minutes, injured again, and you know, for whatever reason. And I just think, you know, even if you can get 30 million for him, just get the 30 million, get him out, and go and get someone else, because we need another striker. Yeah. We need another proper striker to get through the season. You know,
we do. And the concern is though, if it's not, say if Richie went, and Visser doesn't come in. Say if Visser goes to Newcastle, or Brentford don't sell him because they've just sold Mbuemo. I don't see that there's too many. I mean, there probably is strikers out there, but there's none that I look at and I think, oh wow, yeah, I want him. I'd be worried that we would get like a backup, and you know, I don't like the word backup, but that's my concern.
I don't think backup is an option anymore, Nige. To be quite honest with you, we spoke about this before, and you know, we've said about, you know, maybe get this one in, get that. If he's injured, he'll be able to play. I don't want it to be like that at Tottenham. I want it to be, that there's 22, 23 squad players, that are vying for those 11 positions. Probably at the end of the day, if you averaged it out over the squad, 2 proper good ones for, if you couldn't get them from every position, for most positions. You know what I mean? And, and when you're building a squad like that, then you're talking about top 4 and challenging the Liverpools and the Arsenals and that sort of thing. But we're a long way off that yet. So all I want to see is from Tottenham now is what they've done with Kudus. Yeah, to me, he's an upgrade. Morgan Gibbs-White comes, he'd be an upgrade. And a lot of the other, get Paulinia, is an upgrade. Yeah, those types of players, they're who I want to see coming in now. So it's elevating not only the first team, but it's elevating the squad as well. You know, I think it's most important now that we do that, and we don't just go back to that, buying that sort of player that might come through again. We need to keep buying players now that have, you know, played in the Premier League or of a standard that are kind of come in and play in the Premier League and do well.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's weird, isn't it? 'Cause if we bought, so we got Kudus in. If Morgan Gibbs-White does come and we get a Paulinia, that's probably what, 140 million we've spent.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's more. Yeah, there's more. Yeah. There's more that we'd all like to come in, Nige. But with, you know, just like you say, that's 140 million. Then on top of that, you've got to remember the wages as well, right? That they're paying out, you know. So whatever that works out to, if you work that out to, I don't know, say it was 200 million, right, with the wages. Yeah. Forget that part of it. I think if, as a Tottenham fan, someone said to you, right, this window, we're not going to get it all done. We know we need more, but we're bringing in Kudus, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Paulinia. Yeah. I think most Spurs fans would go,
thank you very much.
Decent window.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much. 8.5 out of 10. But at the same token, all the fans would be saying, in January, if someone comes up that improves that squad,
Go again.
yeah, and we can afford to go and get him, go and bag
Yeah,
another one in January. And then next summer, we go again. Have a look at the finances, see
absolutely.
what's coming to the club, see what's available, go again. And that's what Spurs fans want to
Yeah,
see now. And I think that is so important as a Tottenham fan that one, it's recognised from the fans to the owners that, yeah, that is what we want. And number two, for the Spurs fan to see that happening gives you a massive, massive lift, Nige. You know,
yeah.
it's just important to
No,
all of us. We just want to see our club do well, see our club invested in properly, you know, as far as player recruitment's concerned, and get some bloody scouts out there properly that are better than what we have had over the last couple of years and find us some gems because they are out there, Nige. They
yeah.
are out there.
Oh, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. I think, like I say, if we're just brought in those three players and that was it for the
Yeah,
window, obviously we brought in Danzo Tao and the Japanese
yeah,
kid as well.
yeah,
But if that was it for the window, and then January we went again and bought one player that went straight into the first team, even
yeah,
if it's just one,
yeah.
then we're improving constantly. And then the next summer, another two or three. We don't have to go out and buy six or seven all the time. Just a couple that go straight into that first team.
That's it.
And I think three this summer would be massive for Spurs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we will see. There's an interesting question here from Razzle. It says, "What players are you saying this season is about proving you're good enough for us?"
What players are you saying this season is about proving you are good enough for us? I don't understand. What what do you mean, Razzle, by
So
the question? What do you
out,
I
out
don't
of
go on,
the
guys.
out of the players that we got now, what
Right.
players, in other words, have to step up? Are like
Oh,
going to show that they're good enough? Or
there, there's a lot of them, mate. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we did win the Europa last season, but when you go over, you know, you've probably heard me say it many times, Razzle, over the course of the Premier League season, and you can take into account and said this done that. You know, this was agreed between these people. I don't give a toss, right? What was agreed by anyone, I don't give a monkeys about. You know, it was all about winning the Europa League. 22 league defeats tells you everything about what was going on last year at Spurs. Now, for me, you will see a lot of those same players under a different coach. Yeah. And if we're sitting here this time next season and we've had 22 defeats, yeah, we'll have this same conversation again, right? Because I'll tell you now, none of these players, Razzle, in my opinion, yeah, are 17th. None of them, right?
like,
This we're not winning the league, right? But to me, with Kudos in, with Morgan Gibbs White in, and maybe a DM in, yeah, we're top 7 all day. And that is where I want us to
yeah,
be at the end of next season. You know, some people might say it's a failure. Well, we've won the Europa League, but we've only got conference this year. That ain't a failure to me because we finished 17th last season. So you have to start the ball rolling somewhere. Let's get the ball rolling now. We're in the Champions League. Yeah, let's, you know, hopefully get another couple in, show some of these teams what we've got, show them that we're not the walkover, that a lot of teams think we're going to be in the Champions League next season, the whipping boys. Yeah, let's show them we're not that. Let's have a crack at it, try and get out of the group, get into the knockout stages, and try and win a cup next season, FA Cup, League Cup, and try and get a conference or a Europa League berth or whatever it may be, but some form of European football through the league next season. That's where I'm at with it.
yeah. For me, I think Solanke needs to prove that he's good enough. I think if he has another season like last season, I think that would tell me he's not. I mean, I've come out and said I think he'll get 20 Premier League goals, but if he only gets 10 Premier League goals, then for me that's not good enough. I think Udogie, who when he came in his first season, I thought he was really good. I thought last season he was average.
Yeah.
I think for me, he needs to prove that he's good enough, so he needs to step up. Um, and I think they would be the main two. I'm not gonna diss on Archie Gray or Tao at the moment because they're both young players. But for me, Udogie and Solanke for me would be the two that really need to improve and show
What,
they're
what,
good enough.
what do you think happens with Basuma and Bentancur, Nige? Because from what I read, is it Fenerbahce came in for Basuma and he's basically said, don't want to go, I want to stay here, fight for my place.
Yeah,
And there's also, big up
I'm not
Ghosted,
ghosted.
and there's also rumours of Bentancur leaving. I haven't heard any offers. Maybe someone might know
Hmm.
different, but I've heard a few. Again, it's just rumours, but I've heard a few rumours that Bentancur might leave. I don't know what you thought about either of those two as far as going forward for next season is concerned.
I think it's. I think Basuma will be the one to go out of the two.
Yeah.
I think for me, Bentancur can just do a little bit more.
Hmm.
I think for me, Basuma's kind of not a one-trick pony, but he's okay at like he can do the number 8 role quite well, but he's not a number 6. He's not a number 10. I actually think Bentancur could do a little bit of everything, but not great. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, I
think
get that.
Bentancur's an okay 6. He's an okay 8, and he can get forward and score goals. Dangerous at set pieces as well. You know, this is another thing with Basuma. When we get a corner, Bentancur is dangerous with his head. Scores a lot of headers for Spurs.
Yeah.
Basuma's always on the edge of the box, and his shooting is absolutely woeful. He's he's just inconsistent. He gets sent off a bit. He's rash. I think for me, Basuma will be the one to go. And from what I'm hearing, Frank actually quite likes Bentancur. So I
Okay.
wouldn't actually be surprised. This is a bit of a shite. It wouldn't be surprised if Bentancur was captain next season,
Really?
just from what I'm hearing.
Okay. That's interesting. That is
Or
interesting.
at least in the you know the kind of what they did last season when they had 3 of them. It
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me if
Yeah.
it's part of the leadership group, maybe vice captain. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who's captain next year, isn't it?
Do you know if Frank does that sort of stuff, leadership groups and all that, or is that just a general thing that happens in clubs now? I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because in my day, you had a captain, you had a vice captain, yeah. So if anything happened to the captain or whatever, vice took over, and away you go. We didn't have,
Mm.
we all used to get in an huddle now and again, have a chat with each other, same old thing like they do on the pitch now. We'd all say a few words, do our bit, and get on with it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I didn't know if all clubs did that now, that leadership group thing.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we've always had that kind of. Do you not think we've always had that kind of thing in football? I mean, I
I
know
don't
we
know.
go
I mean,
back and it's always seemed to be a captain and a vice captain, but then we've
yeah,
always had a club captain as well, haven't we? You
yeah, I
know,
suppose so. Yeah, yeah.
so
When you look at it that way, yeah, 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 yeah. It's
but
fair enough to
usually
comment.
usually
Yeah.
it doesn't come out, does it? Usually you don't have a big meeting about it and like he's this and he's that. But it'd be interesting to see who is captain next year. Do you see it going to? Because if Sonny
Well,
stays, is
yeah, and I was also thinking about if Romero stays or goes as well. You just said about Sonny. Now, if Sonny goes, obviously there's going to be a change of captain. But if Romero stays, as he was vice last season and part of that leadership group, does he get it? Do you know what I mean? Or does Frank just? That's what I was saying to you yesterday on the show. Because Frank's coming in on a clean sweep, does he go? Hang on a minute, lad. Your quality. I know you've only just come in, but you're a leader. Bang, captain. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. So some managers, big up, Sean.
okay,
Some
buddy.
some some managers do that, don't they? They'll have a complete,
Yeah.
complete sort of wipe the slate clean and go again, with that sort of thing.
I mean, even if Sonny stays, he can't be captain, can he? We can't have Sonny. He's not going to be an automatic starter. So surely he can be
No,
captain next season if he
no.
stays.
It, yeah, you're right, Nigel. It's going to be interesting how Thomas Frank goes about it, and who he does make his captain. And,
Yeah.
does he go down the road of, well, he was captain last year, so why would I be taking it off of him? They won the Europa League, da 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 da. Or is it a case of, like we just said, new times, new coaches in, new manager, and this is how we do it type of thing, and he comes in sort of a different way with it. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. No, I'd be annoyed if they kept Sonny as captain. That would, like,
Yeah, it
yeah,
needs to change.
he can't be. I mean, I can understand him being again if he stays being club captain, ambassador, whatever, but not the actual captain on the
On
pitch.
the
Scott
pitch.
Emerson,
Yeah.
we sacked that donkey Angela this season. The success for me already. Yeah, yeah.
God, Scott.
Try not
Only
try not to
speak the
talk about
truth,
him.
mate. I love
I love
Scott,
the fact
mate.
he just comes in, drops a couple of bombs.
Brilliant, mate.
Audio saying I'd sell
Excuse me.
both and replace with Polinia, Wharton, Hackney. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I probably would as well, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. If you could get
Um,
those deals done and you knew they were coming, do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
big up, Sean, mate. Yeah.
Audio saying both
Yeah,
Romero and
yeah,
Bentacle
comment.
barely speak English. I doubt either would be make.
And I
No,
don't think
maybe not. But
Romero's English is not brilliant either, is it? By all accounts, So yeah, who was it?
sometimes it's
Who was we
leading
talking?
by
Yeah,
example, though, isn't it?
yeah. When we was talking the other day, and someone mentioned, I don't know who it was. We was talking about this type of thing, captains, and someone in the chat put about if Morgan Gibbs White come in, would you just make him captain? Is he that type of player? If you're having a total thing, and probably not. Do you know what I mean? But if you were starting again and was having a fella came in that was your sort of all rounder, and he's proved before that he'll open that and he'll tell people. I don't know if he would be respected enough or not from other players in the squad to be that. Perhaps others think they're above in the pecking order. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was very much one for thinking that if we get Morgan Gibbs White, I think he could be good captain material. He's vice
Mm,
captain at Forest. Um, I think he may have captained the England under 21s at some point. I just
yeah.
think he's got that bit of arrogance about him that I think he could do it. I probably wouldn't put him captain for a season, let him settle in, and maybe the next season. But I think
Mm,
it's going to be different. This is why I think I said already. It wouldn't surprise me again. I wouldn't be surprised if Benton Cole was made captain, but I think he may go with someone like Madison just because
mm.
he's English. And
Yeah. He can get his point across as well, can't he, Madison? The only
yeah,
thing is with Madison is like old Danny says, he can be he could be a bit of a roll around on the floor merchant, can't he? And I know he gets injured.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And I know he gets kicked. And he does get kicked a lot. But he does roll about a bit, and
it is
whatever.
annoying. He has got the bit of Jack Grealish about him, and he goes
Yeah,
down
yeah,
like screaming. But
yeah, yeah.
what about Jack Grealish? Would you take him?
Oh, mate. I've loved Jack Grealish for years, and the reason why I love Jack Grealish is one of the reasons we was just talking about is that he will carry the ball for you, he will
Yeah,
keep hold of the ball for you, and what he's very good about that is he'll advance the ball, and he's giving the players that haven't got the ball chance to grab a breath, especially when they're running around at 100 mile an hour. You know what I mean? Now he'll carry the ball. He'll try and take someone on, and 9 times out of 10, he'll get fouled in the process of doing it. Or just when he's holding that ball up and two or three will come round him and they'll try and nick it off him and he gets that free
yeah,
kick. And that is what he is very good at. He is so good at that. And I love him for that because there's not a
yeah.
lot of that in the game today. And don't get me wrong, he's got plenty of other attributes, and he's got things that probably don't work for him in the fact of, is he the hardest working player in the world? Probably not. Probably
Right.
not. But he does carry the ball for you. And like I say, he's very good at that.
He's
And I love that in a player. I do love that.
he's a pressure releaser, isn't he? You know, if
Yes.
your team's under pressure, you can get the ball out to him, and he will relieve some pressure for you by getting that free kick, by slowing the game down.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
has got some
Yeah.
skill about him. He's a great player as well. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's been. I do think he's been stunted a little bit at City, having to
Yeah.
play a certain way. You know, Villarreal was the main man and created and scored. I think
Yeah.
if he come to Spurs, I think he could do that again.
Mm.
But let's go to this one. Morton Barley saying Tottenham goalkeeper Josh Keeley is set to join Luton on a permanent deal. Yeah, I've read this, but apparently we have a buyback clause in it, don't we? I think,
Yeah. He's gone for a
which is a
million
really
or
good
something,
thing.
isn't it? Is it a million he's gone
Yeah,
for?
something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a good deal for him. Good signing for Luton. Gets him regular football, but the fact we've got a buyback clause is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's also saying Vicario worries him. Yeah, a nervy keeper makes. We spoke about this yesterday, didn't we? About
Yeah.
Vicario.
Yeah.
For
We did.
me, what did, what did who said he was he did something with his arms? What was it? I can't remember now. Oh, it was like a traffic
Um,
warden or something
yeah.
with his
Yeah.
arms.
Yeah. Something. Yeah. He's Gary done the same, mate. But I just think there's other areas of the pitch that we need to deal with. I agree, he's a flapper, mate. There's no doubt about it. He flaps, and
Yeah,
he doesn't secure his area properly, and that's something that he's got to work on, and hopefully he does, and it improves this season. But I can't see him going anywhere yet. To be honest with you, I
no,
really can't.
no.
Maybe a bit later down the line he might do. But it's something he's just got to work on, Gary, unfortunately. And we saw it many times last year, you know, when it seemed like it was clear and obvious, come and catch it. And a lot of the time he didn't get to where he needed to get to. And other times he was just punching all the time. And it does my nutting, Gary.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not a goalkeeper by any stretch of the imagination, but just catch the bloody thing. You know what I mean? There are
yeah,
instances where you do punch Nige, obviously, but, you know,
yeah.
a lot of the time, just
See,
catch it.
yeah, he is a complete opposite to the player we were just talking about, and Jack Grealish, and the fact that Jack Grealish releases pressure,
Yeah.
whereas Vicario brings it on, doesn't he? He's
Yes, it
like you
does.
say, by not catching the ball,
Yeah.
just take the pressure off by just catching it. He doesn't do that enough for me, but he is a fantastic shot stopper. We
Yes.
can't get
And you
away from
can't
that.
deny him that. You can't deny him that at all. He's
No,
very good at shot stopping. Yeah. Brilliant.
yes. So I see it being next season. We may be looking to getting a new keeper. I don't think it'd be this summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. And yes to this all
Audio,
day long.
yeah.
I don't know
Audio
about
said if we
making
sign
captain, but I'd have
Anthony Robinson,
Anthony Robinson
yeah,
all day, mate, at left back. All day. And I think then, you
yeah,
know, him and Udogi, and then you've got Spence can cover left back as well. And also, you know, whether you like it or not, Ben Davies is there. I think having the two of Udogi and Anthony Robinson would bring
yeah,
the best out in both of them. Because when you look at both of those players, both youngsters, yeah, both love marauding down the wing. You know, I think Robinson's a better defender than what Udogi is, but Robinson, he loves getting up and down that line, doesn't he? And he can put a ball in as
yeah.
well, mate. He can cross a ball,
He
that
can.
kid, when he wants to.
Yeah, he got quite a
You
few
know?
assists last season, didn't he?
Yeah,
10 assists was it?
something like that. Yeah, yeah. He
Something
gets
like
up
that.
and down so well. And it's not just that. He's another one, Nige. He does a bit of everything, doesn't he? He's good at tackling. He can get up
Mm.
and down the line. He can deliver a ball, you know, on a sixpence now and again. He's got a bit of
Yeah,
everything about him. And he's got that bit of fight in him as well that we was talking about, Nige, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's just got that little bit of oomph in him that it seems like we're getting a few players in that have got that now, which is good
I
to
think.
see.
Yeah, I think for me that's the thing with Anthony Robinson. I got to be honest. I don't think he's the greatest on the ball. I think he
You know,
sometimes looks a bit clumsy,
mm,
but he is very good at going forward. He is a very good defender, and he is really strong, like a really good tackler. And we need a few of them inside. We got so many like players who, you know, Romero apart who flies into anything, but we
mm,
haven't got those really hard players, have we? And it'd be nice to get a few of them in.
yeah, yeah, it would be. Yeah, we
Big
we
up,
need a bit.
Kevin.
Big up, Kev. Yeah,
Oh,
we need a bit of steel in there, don't we? We do need
yeah,
a bit of steel in there, to go with that silkiness. We were saying yesterday, we talk all about, having these nice silky players in our team, and we love having that at Tottenham. We do. We love having what we call getting up off your seat players at Spurs. But
yeah,
to have that, I think that you've got to have that level of steel in there as well. And just like we was talking about, sometimes you need that DM, yeah, that will just 10 yards in front of that defence from left back to right back. They just say to them, that's your area, patrol it, do not let people pass. And when you've won it, give it to the boys that know what to do with it. Do you know what I mean? And when you've got 5 or 6 of them in your team, when you've got a Kudos and a Maddison and a Gibbs White and so on, and you can say Solanke and Son and whatever, these players, given the opportunity, are paid lots of money to score goals and win football games. So prove
yeah.
you're good enough, go and do it, have it large on the pitch. Let's have it.
Have it
You know what I
large.
mean? Let's be Tottenham
Yeah,
Hotspur again and get going, win some trophies. Let
exactly
teams
right.
know that we're about again, mate. Let teams know that
We
we're
have,
about
we
again.
have, we've always been like that, though, haven't we? Look at the players we've had over the years, likes of Hoddle, but we've always had a Graham Roberts or Paul Miller,
Yeah,
or even
yeah,
when we had like the likes of Sheringham, players like we had a Pat Van Den Howell and
yeah,
Neil Ruddock and those kind of players.
yeah. When things got out of hand a bit, do you know what I mean? There was always someone there. They just commanded that bit of respect in that way, Nige, didn't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I remember. I mean, it's a long time ago, but Graham Roberts, used to shit the pants out of people. He really did. And
He was
sometimes that was
great.
before a ball was kicked, mate. He was one hard bastard. Sorry again for swearing. I
Yeah,
loved
no,
Graham
he was.
Roberts back in the day, and you know, football misses that now. I think Nige having that,
It's not the
you
same,
know,
is it?
you know.
Some
Well,
of the tackles,
it
yeah,
doesn't seem
fine.
like that type of player is there anymore. But you're not allowed to get stuck in like you was, back in the
No,
day, are you?
no,
So yeah,
absolutely. Kevin is saying João Gomez. Yeah, I like him as well.
yeah,
We've been
yeah,
linked with him for quite a few years. I
yeah,
wouldn't turn him down if we got him in.
yeah. Very decent.
Scott M saying, with the lack of better options, I don't see how we can take it away from Son. That's the worry. But
Yeah,
we will
again,
see.
yeah. See what Thomas the Frank engine does, won't we? We'll soon find out.
We will.
He's getting to know him
We
now,
will.
and bits and pieces going on. So I'm sure all that stuff will come out, and people
Yeah,
will agree and disagree with what he does. I've got no
indeed.
doubt. It'll give us something
Razzle
to
was
talk
saying,
about, won't it?
exactly, mate. My one problem with Jack is that he slows it down. Yeah, he does slow the game down, but you're right. He's got to learn to. I'm sure he can quicken up the game as well. He used to do it at Villa, didn't he? But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, again, I don't think we're getting him, so I don't think it matters. But yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I still wouldn't say no to Grealish.
Nah, it's all rumour, Razzle. We're just big up, Matt.
I got Matt.
We're just talking about rumours, really. We're just trying to do a bit of a daily rumour show, and then hopefully,
Something
in
drop.
between, something breaks. Do you know what I mean? And someone signs someone, and whatever. So we're just trying to put a bit of content out there for you to watch. You know how it is.
That's it. Morton Barley saying Vicario worried me because the defenders don't trust him, and that means mistakes. And both are absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You only have to look in the Europa League final, don't you?
Yeah,
When he come out for the corner or
yeah.
free kick to catch it. Who did he bump into? Was it Solanke he bumped into?
But,
Dropped the ball, and if it wasn't for Van der Ven, then
yeah,
they score.
yeah. Super Mickey Van der Ven. Not only can he run back 60
Yes,
yards, but he can get his leg up 10 foot in the air. Happy days, Mickey. We love you, son.
exactly,
Get in there.
exactly. Morton Barley saying West Ham fans are going mad over Kudus, saying that the doctor would find Tottenham in his heart instead of West Ham. Can't understand and was having a
Go on,
brilliant,
Gary. Love it.
brilliant. And on
Brilliant.
that note, I think we may call it a night, mate. We're going to do an hour. We've ended up doing an hour 25.
Yeah, love it,
And
mate. Come on here. I love it,
Love
Nigel.
Island
Come
starts
on
in
here
5 minutes.
talking football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good,
Just
mate.
chatting
Mm.
Spurs, and this is it. All we're doing that we haven't even been able to really give you any concrete news. And I know we don't go as in depth as other channels. Sorry, I'm speaking for myself, not for Nige there. But
No, me
you
too.
know, it is what it is, and we try and get out there bits and pieces, and we hope you all enjoy it at the end of the day. And we're just trying to get more people in to watch, and we enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. I'm sure I'm speaking for Nige. I know I'm speaking the sheriffs at work, but I know he loves it. He loves doing this, and he loves engaging with all you lot as well. So, big up to
Yeah.
all of you for being in here. Big up.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks to everyone that's come in. If, like I said before, and I say it again, if it's not for you lot in the chat engaging with us,
Yeah.
asking questions, then there's absolutely no point at all. So big up and thank you to each and every one of you. And we will probably see you maybe tomorrow, mate.
Yeah,
On
I
your
think we
channel.
try and put something out on the marks tomorrow. I know that I spoke to Sheriff earlier on, and rather than
Yeah.
doing a live at Sav's barbecue, I think what he's planning to do is run a few shorts, the 3 minute shorts that you can do, because you can
Yeah.
do them and post them straight away.
Yeah.
So I think that's his plan anyway. So, but yeah, me and you, I think, will be doing something at some stage tomorrow on the two marks. We bring you
Yeah.
the rumours, the clues, the transfers, whatever we can, as Gary says, get a bit of that meat off the bone, you know. So
Hopefully some
we'll do a bit
hopefully some at a
tomorrow.
break tomorrow.
Anyone? Yeah, we'll be on the two marks at some stage, and we'll go from there tomorrow.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. And as always, we will see you on the next show. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.